All right, so here's something that I love to do. I like making food and animals and all kinds of different inanimate objects too with funky faces. So we're going to personify them, make them look like people. As far as having a personality, you can see their face and everything. So this time we are going to do some foods, some desserts. How delicious. So we'll start with an ice cream cone. I tried this a couple different ways, but here's what I landed on. So start with a circle a little bit above the center of your paper, because we want to leave room for the cone at the bottom. And then a little lower than midway through the circle, make a point on the left side and draw an invisible line to the other side, make a point there. Go back to the middle, down, and make a point below the circle. So now we're going to connect these with two straight lines. And then a straight line across. Now you also could have done a straight line across in the beginning. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. Okay, so then we erase that bottom part of the circle. We don't need that anymore. And we'll make some diagonal lines in one direction and then overlapping in the other direction. So this is our waffle cone. Now, figure out where I'm going to put the eyes. So I'm going to do a big circle on the left and one on the right, kind of close to the edge of the circle. And then let's see, what else do we need? A mouth. So, all right, I'm going to do a half circle shape. So a smile and then a line across. So open mouth. We'll draw two circles and one in each eye for the pupils, and then another half circle down there in the mouth for the tongue. Some little curve lines for the eyelids, and just some little kind of blobs for the eyebrows. Okay, now speaking of blobs and random shapes, I'm going to make big kind of wavy, bumpy, sort of circular shape down here. This is where our ice cream is kind of melting over the edge of our cone. And then I want to make that outline of the actual ice cream a little bit darker, and I'm going to make it a little lumpy too. We don't want it to look too perfect, or I don't want it to look too perfect. I think that's just about everything. So I'm going to take my marker and outline everything and fill in a little bit too. So you can use a marker, pen, color pencil, crayon, anything you like. Just be careful with markers. Make sure it's okay with an adult, because sometimes they're permanent. Okay, so I forgot about the arms. I do want to give our ice cream cone some arms and hands. So I've gone back to my pencil. I'm drawing two lines, one from each side, and then a circle to represent where the hand would be. Then I'll draw a little curve for the thumb and a big curve around for the rest of the hand, like a mitten. Then once it's all outlined, I'm going to erase all my pencil lines. After that, I'm going to color it in. So I'm using a color pencil. I decided to go for purple. And I like to make it look a little bit shaded. We'll give it some volume, right? Usually things look more realistic, so to speak, even though it's a cartoon, if we give it some shading. So on the bottom edge, because usually light's coming from overhead, right? So you want your shadows to be towards the bottom most of the time. And I want to enhance these waffle cones, so I'm making shading in there too. All right, we have our happy little ice cream cone. And now we'll move on to the ice cream sundae. So don't mind, you can kind of see one of my other drawings back there. Okay, so we'll draw a big oval in this, pretty much the center of your page, maybe a little higher. And then a line across the top and a line under it. Then two lines side by side for the stem. It's going to be a glass. And a little circle in the middle of that. You'll see what that is going to be later. Then the line down at the bottom, I want you to draw another line underneath, and then we'll connect them with two lines on the side. Okay, I put a few more lines in to our big oval shape because I'm dividing that up. Then on the top where it's going to be the whipped cream, I've got a big oval there and a circle on top of that for our cherry. Okay, so now we got to shape it up. We want this to look more like a glass. So it's going to be kind of straighter on the sides and curve down towards the bottom. Then the stem, we want to make it look like it's part of the glass and not separate. So this will become all one line on each side. And the base of the glass, we're going to go over that too and just kind of curve that around also. Okay, so top of the glass is solid, but these lines I'm going to make wavy because those represent the ice cream and different layers that you can see through the glass. Okay, now making our cherry. So I want a little dip in there, and then the stem, our whipped cream. We'll kind of make all these kind of curvy parts, but we want a little point at the end. And curve the ice cream around too. All right, so we still need to make this look more interesting than just food. We got to figure out how to give it a face. I'm going to put the eyes right up here at the top. So 2 big half circles and a circle in each. Then I'm going to put some sprinkles on here, but strategically. So these sprinkles will represent eyelashes or eyebrows. I'm not really sure. Could be either. I think eyelashes. Okay, and then a mouth. I'm going to do that down here on the glass part. So a slight curve, and then 2 up top and 1 below for some lips. And I like to do the little lines on the side, the little smile lines. Now we learned from the last one, put some arms in first. So I'm going to draw a short line out on either side and curve that in for sleeves. Then just a stick kind of line coming out. And again, we'll do our circle for where our hand's going to be. Draw a thumb off of that and 3 fingers. Boop, boop, boop. Ta-da! Okay, so this time I'm going to use a pen because I felt like the marker I used was a little bit fat and I've got smaller details on here, so I want definitely something smaller. So I'm using my pen to outline everything. Once that's done, I'll get all my pencil lines erased and I'll do some coloring in. So just like on the ice cream cone, I'm going to color my base colors first, the ones that I choose. And if you're mixing it up, so like this, I'm using 2 different color pencils for the chocolate ice cream. So I'm doing a lighter brown for my base color. And then when I come in with the shadow, I'm going to use a darker brown. Sometimes you can use the same color and just go a little bit heavier. But I want it to look a little bit more like dark chocolatey, so that's why I'm using that. And we want to know that these sprinkles up here are indeed sprinkles, so I'm making them rainbow. So good. Okay, now I want this to look like a little bit like a glass, so I'm throwing in a little bit of blue shading. And that is it. We have made our delicious and beautiful desserts. And if you have any new creations, please send them my way. I like to show them in my next videos. I have some more things lined up for you, but it has been a very busy time lately, so I hope to get back around soon with some more videos. I have started them, but just keep an eye out for some updates because I certainly will be back with more. See you then.